Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, what happened? Hungary called out the European Union again. How did they do this? Because they have balls, that's why. Because Hungary seems to be independent. I don't think it seems, it is independent. Yeah, they say, well, if you're not with us, you necessarily are with Russia. I don't think so. I think Hungary is just, its leaders are doing what they're supposed to. Look for its citizens' interest, look for their needs, for the country, for their culture, for their nation. And I admire that. Nevertheless, as someone said, Mr. Nevertheless. Okay. We have here an article coming from Republic World from today, July 23rd, and this is the title. Hungary raises questions on EU's oil embargo plans. Averts EU's should not hide the truth. Oh, is the EU hiding the truth? I didn't know that. Now, we go to the Hungary's foreign minister. I can't pronounce his last name. He's a very intelligent guy, very smart guy. Watch some of his interviews on YouTube or wherever you find him. He's a very smart guy and he's got balls too, and he's young. So, Hungary's foreign minister, Peter Szijjarto, 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 something like that, said that, I'm sorry, I will say Hungary's foreign minister, said that the EU should be thankful about the realities of the gas supply from Russia, rather than treating it ideologically. Why did I tell you? These guys are making mistakes and decisions based on ideology. Sometimes you do it on ideology, and obviously you do it based on values and whatever you believe in. But sometimes you have to be pragmatic. When your population is starving, you don't tell the population starve because we're hurting a little bit Russia too, but you guys are going to be starving. That's how. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but you get the idea. Amid the ongoing war and subsequent energy crisis that rose after European Union sanctions, oh, this beautiful sentence here, Hungary believes, I don't think believes, thinks, the EU officials must acknowledge the reality of their dependence on Russian oil. The staunch statement from Hungary came after its foreign minister, Peter Szijjarto, landed in Moscow and met his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov on Thursday. Notably, the Hungarian foreign minister Russia tour was majorly concentrated on gaining more energy supply from Moscow, caring for its people. The Hungarian foreign minister said that the EU should be thankful about the realities of the gas supply from Russia, rather than treating it as an ideological matter. Russia Today World reported. According to the Hungarian minister, the purchase of natural gas, and I'm quoting, is not an ideological issue, end quote, but a physical issue that cannot be solved by talking. Citing the recent panic alarm raised by Germany following a 10-day pause by the Nord Stream 1 Baltic Sea pipeline, the Hungarian foreign minister raised questions over the planning of the 27-nation bloc. Why, and I'm quoting, why has Berlin facing issues? Why has Berlin facing issues in meeting their country demand? I think, why has Berlin faced issues in meeting their country's demand if the EU is working to solve the crisis? He asked. I'll be frank, you always are. I've been hearing from leading politicians in Western Europe in recent months that they've gotten it all sorted out. They have found alternative sources, they have bought gas from elsewhere, and they have gotten rid of their dependence on Russia. So why the alarm? He said. Well, this guy tries to use logic. By the way, Norok, cheers. Some Merlot. All right, dry. We like it dry. Yes, we do. So this guy is logical. Why do you start, why is the panic if you already said you got alternative, energy suppliers that will provide you with this and that? You already found them. What's the problem, Germany? So it doesn't make sense. They just want to hurt those guys and in the process hurting their own people, I think. And it says EU vows to reduce its dependence on Russian gas. And I'm adding, and will increase the dependence on someone else's gas. Well, all right, no problem. But the Russians are evil. We already know that because they told us so, and they invaded without any pretext and any unprovoked attack. We know that, right? So it is crucial to note here that ever since the Union announced a partial embargo on Russian oil, its intention to decrease its dependency on Russian energy seems in trouble. The European countries at first approached the Gulf nations to meet their demands, but after facing failure in securing a deal, they said, beat it, like Michael Jackson, beat it. In securing a deal with the Gulf nations, they turned towards the Middle East and the Mediterranean regions. Notably, Europe depends on Russia for roughly 40% of its natural gas needs. Currently, the European leaders have vowed to reduce their dependency by 2/3. Well, we'll see how they can do that. And they have the answer right here. Earlier in April, the European leaders approached the Gas and Oil-Rich Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, members to avert any energy crisis after limiting its dependency on Russian energy resources. The European leaders asked the GCC to increase the production of hydrocarbon. However, GCC reportedly denied delivering the need, saying constraints in production and the fact that most of their future production is locked in long-term contracts with Asian clients. On the other hand, several countries like Bulgaria and Czech Republic, Hungary and Slovakia are enjoying cap-free supply of Russian oil despite being an EU members. You know what it is? And I'm going to go to ideology a little bit here, even though I think those guys in the Mediterranean area, Middle East and whatever, they were kicked in the teeth by the European Union and by its master, Zimbabwe, across the Atlantic. Wink, wink. So many times that now they say, yes, now you need us, huh? Now you are our friends. We can't, man. A contract is a contract. We are bound by our long-term contracts, so we cannot increase. Sorry. That's how it is. I think European Union members or leaders, handlers, I'm going to call them handlers from now on. I'm not going to call them leaders, handlers. They said that they will outbid anybody on the planetary level regarding natural gas. So let's say a poor country as Zimbabwe, real Zimbabwe, says, we would like to have some natural gas. Europe comes and elbows Zimbabwe out. We're gonna give more. You die, we're gonna have it. So what do you think? These countries that are supplying energy are not rich countries. I'm not talking about the United States, excluding the United States. I'm talking about maybe you can say the Saudis or these guys, but they're not. They could be. Their governments can be overthrown. This is what I mean. They're not strong, I would say. So they were pushed around by the big guys for so many years, and they did not forget that. And now they say like, oh well, maybe you should suffer for a little bit. It's just a gut feeling, okay? My guts are feeling that way, not my brain. It's just a gut in this one. And believe me, as I always say, the aggressor, the perpetrator, the criminal tends to forget his actions in time, the names or the locations and so on. But the victims, they do not forget the crimes committed against them. They remember those after years and years and years. And when they bring it back, the other person is like, well, man, it's been like 20 years. Are you crazy? The same is with China bringing up that bombardment of their embassy in Belgrade in Yugoslavia by NATO, the defensive alliance, my bad, or other countries that were invaded. They will never forget. other countries there were sanctions. Never forget. And the guys are forgetting. They just come back to Venezuela now and say, hey, what's going on, Maduro? Amigos, we're friends here, remember? And it's like, what? You sent those guys to take care of me, put sanctions on me, and now we're amigos or something? Yeah, that's how they come and go. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A second club is emerging. That's why these guys are like refusing, because they think they're gonna probably be defended or being members of the next club and be defended by those guys. Now that the other guys will be, maybe they will be better at the beginning, like every other, cycle of civilization, or they're gonna be better for a while, and then they go to tyranny, and then another club hopefully emerges. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.